found evidence that Bob Saget was murdered. By the way, welcome back to Speak Van Holden 247, etc. If you like, subscribe, and share. By the way, thank you for subscribing, new subscribers. Thank you for your feedback and your compliments. These are just my opinions and theories, but let me be clear. I charge Kelly RIZZO with murder. I am of a strong conviction. It is my opinion that she had him murdered. Now, I want to be clear on another point. Nothing that the authorities have said makes sense. But let's go back and rehash it real quick. They enter the room, the police. They touch him, he cold. They looked for signs of foul play. They rule that out. Remember, the room was neat. Everything was neat where it's supposed to be. But my question is, when you enter that room, by looking at his body, you don't know if he died of a heart attack or a stroke or natural cause. Why would you be concerned about foul play? Okay. Now, you never considered that he slipped and fell and hit his head in that room until the autopsy report. Prior to that, you had no other concept or theory. But here's the problem with that. If you rule out foul play because the room was neat and you didn't see a sign of struggle, you just prove as a law enforcement community of officers, lieutenants and captains and mayors that y'all are incompetent. You supposed to be investigators. Now check this out. In my first video, I said Kelly RIZZO was a suspect. Nobody else said this that I know. But let me show you something. She had a motive and a means. She stood the most to gain by Bob being murdered. But let me tell you what she did that implicated herself in this murder and who orchestrated the murder. But before I go there, let me back up real quick. If you and I were called to testify in court to what happened to Bob and we wasn't there, it's called speculation. It's not fact, it's a speculation. So how are you going to speculate he slipped and fell and make that a fact? So you telling me that the medical examiner and the police departments are engaging in falsifying records? Because that's exactly what that is. Okay? Now, but I guess this is the thing now because they did it during the COVID. When people come in, they didn't die from COVID. They saying they died from COVID. You see where I'm going with this here? These are the people they want us to call authorities. I call them incompetents, idiots, morons. Now check this out. Here is what I think happened. But before I do, let me tell you how Kelly RIZZO had him murdered and why. Kelly RIZZO didn't have any money. Check out her net worth. She didn't have really no money. She was doing okay. But to get control of that money that Bob had, that she desperately needed and wanted, before he changed his mind and changed the wheels, this was a premeditated murder, well thought out. Here is why she was able to do it. She had intimate knowledge about his whole schedule, his flight, the room he gonna be in, and when he leaving to go over there to Florida. That's why I say she was the #1 suspect from the beginning. She had more knowledge than anybody else. He would have confided in her. Now, it is said that she sent him a text on Sunday the night prior to the day of checkout saying, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. That text to me exposed her. This is how I know she murdered him. But it's just my opinion though. Check this out. You text him. You didn't call him. You text him. You would think you would want to hear his voice and talk to him. But you texted. This was all part of the plan. See, your text was a filler. Let me explain that so my viewers can understand. In other words, your hired killers, I believe you hired 2 people. Your hired killers could not call you and confirm the kill due to the phone records, because they can open up an they can close it and open up an investigation. But because they are experienced, it was a well thought out plan. They couldn't call you and say, couldn't do it. Because they could have made a connection. Who did you speak to, RIZZO, at this time? You sent him a text. I don't know if he responded. I have 2 theories of why you sent the text, but they serve the same purpose. You sent the text to see if he was alive. See, when you called and you was worried about him, you got your confirmation. See, this is why you texted him on the 9th. You texted him on the 9th. So the 10th came. And when you texted him on the 9th, I'm of a strong belief on the 9th, on that 9th, at some point, he was already dead or early that morning. But I'm going to back up and I'll come back to that too. You didn't tell the media what time you sent that text. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. You just said you text, but I'm going to tell you why you sent him a text. This is your way of trying to show the world, the police, if the heat came your way. I love my husband. But now, if he didn't text you back, the authorities should have looked at that. Now, if he did text you back, he was alive then. But in my opinion, that text was a filler to see if Bob said, hey, it also could have served this purpose as well. Send him a text and say, hey, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. She was hoping, or it was designed to say, and Bob probably would have texted you back, I'm having a good time. I can't wait to see you. She was trying to see if he noticed anything odd around him, like a person watching him or whatnot. But like I said, because the time is missing when she sent that text, it was a filler to assure herself that he was dead. Remember, she said she was worried. She hadn't heard from him that day. Why are you worried when he's supposed to be checking out? He could be busy eating, talking to people, got his phone off. The battery could be dead on his phone. But why you was worried? Because you already know he was dead. You was pretending to be worried. See, you know he dead now. At this point of you worrying, you know he was dead. You knew it. See, at 2 something, he swiped his card. At 3, he's supposed to post something about his stand-up. So he could have been murdered anytime between 4 in the morning to 5 in the morning. That's what I think. Or, no, I'm going to leave it there. Because the killers that you sent, they didn't call you and tell you it was done. They probably could have emailed you, with a phrase, a sophisticated phrase like, hello, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. I am. I'm just, brainstorming that you already knew he was dead. You knew that. This is why you was worried. You wanted them to find him. You wanted to be that wife that was concerned. But why would you be concerned only after about an hour or two you haven't heard from him when he's supposed to check? Why would you be so concerned? You was already concerned because you already know he was dead. Now, this brings me to this here. This is why she filed a lawsuit to she filed for a temporary injunction. It's not permanent. It expires, but she can renew it and try to get a permanent injunction. She don't want all the reports to come out from the examination or autopsy because she's afraid that once it get into somebody else's hand, they'll figure it out. This is what she's afraid of. You know why I know she murdered him? Because she's willing to believe the unbelievable, that he slipped, fell without any evidence, and guess what? Hit his head. That's unbelievable. She accepted that. Why? It benefits her. But see, there's no statute of limitation on murder. Even though they closed the case, it can be opened upon newly discovered evidence. This is why she is pressing and pushing to keep it from coming out. See, she knows that even a civilian can get a hold of that and open up an investigation and demand an investigation. A cop, anybody, because there will be a murderer running loose out here. See, she knows this. So guess what she do? She hurry up and hire an attorney, okay, to keep this information out. And her position is it would cause the family irreparable mental and emotional distress. Well, you would think that since there is no evidence he slipped and fell and hit his head, you would think you would want this information out to do an independent investigation. But guess what? You already know you had him murdered, so it doesn't matter. You don't want that out. Think, people. If your loved ones died under that situation, you're going to be like, no, I don't believe that. We need all that stuff released. Kelly RIZZO does not want this released. She had the motive and means and had everything to gain from it because she didn't have a lot of money at all. Go check out her net worth right now. She didn't have a lot of money. She needed Bob dead. Bob was 30-some years older than her. His Winkle property didn't work. So guess what? I need the money to get me a younger man or a man that can perform. She set him up. Now, like I said, she was too concerned about him not checking out that hotel. That's a telltale sign. Look, when you on the road, you checking out. Why would you be worried? Hell, I'm checking out at 3 o'clock, but they found him at 4. So you was he could have been using a bathroom, taking a shower, or at the airport trying to eat, trying to get on the plane, but you worried about him an hour later after he supposed to checked out. Then you know he just got through coming home at 3 and 4 in the morning. He's going to be asleep and get up and try to get up out of there. But you already worried about it because you know what? That's part of the plan to make it look like you was a loving, worried wife. Now that you got the bag, you came out and did that fake interview. I'm looking at your eyes and everything. You had this man murdered. I see it. Now, here's another thing. Whoever you sent to kill him, I don't think they live in this country. So if I was the authorities, I'll see who came into the country and who checked in that hotel when he checked in and how close they was from him and when did they check out. That's what I'll be looking at. See, the authorities should have been looking at who was on that floor with him. When did they check in and when did they check out? That's what I'll be looking at. But like I said, she had him murdered. This is why she don't care about the autopsy report coming out, because if it comes out, it gets into the right hands, something else is going to be discovered. So that's my take on it. I believe at some point he opened that door, or somebody gained access. You know, somebody knocked on that door and he opened it. And he opened it. Now, at the same time, there is a whole lot of things missing for them to hurry up and close that case like that. Man, that was real quick. Who does that? Now remember, you have to think about this real good. Think about it real hard too. They entered that room to look for signs of foul play. Why are you looking for signs of foul play? They didn't go in there looking for signs that he slipped and fell. That came after the autopsy. They said, well, we'll just, say that it was unwitnessed, so this is what he had to do. So they come up with this conclusion that cannot be rationalized in any form or fashion. But here is the conclusion of the matter. Kelly RIZZO had him murdered. You don't want that autopsy and all those details coming out, just like the second details came out. You're concealing something. And the state of Florida should contend that they believe that it should be released in the interest of justice, because it just may lead to a killer, meaning you. That's it.